Okay, so hello everyone. Hope you are doing well today. Welcome and thanks very much for joining us. I'm really excited to host today's webinar. Today, we will bring you guys into steelworks. We will experience one of the challenges of this complex reality, the volume computation of material stockpiles, and we will experience how HERON technology can provide insights and effective results in a time and money-saving approach, supporting prompt decision-making and optimizing these complex tasks. Let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Giorgia Rossi, and I am the International Sales Manager at Jexcel. I am very pleased to introduce Cosmo Di Cecca, the steelworks process technologist at Feralpi Group, one of the leading steel manufacturers in Europe. And together with Cosmo, we will discover how Feralpi Group is currently using HERON portable mobile mapping technology to achieve the fast volume computation of scrap stockpile periodically in order to get precise data and take prompt decisions. So if you never met us before, just let me tell you that Jexcel is involved in the global market of 3D surveying and mapping for more than 10 years by developing and providing innovative point cloud processing software and survey systems. Before we get started, please note that the audio portion will stream through your PC, laptop speakers. Be sure to check your speakers to ensure they are turned on and that volume is at an audible level. Please enter your questions in the chat box. If you have any technical difficulties, try refreshing your screen. We also recommend changing browser in case. The webinar will be recorded for your reference, and you will receive it by email. At the end of the webinar, I am at your full disposal to answer to your questions, but do not hesitate to contact me also afterwards by email or chat or phone as well for any other issue. In case we might not be able to reply to all your questions, don't worry, guys, we will follow up afterwards. So let me go quickly through today's agenda. We give you an overview of the HERON technology, focusing on those capabilities strategic for stockpile management. The real application of HERON technology will be presented by our guest, Cosmo, who will tell us the experience of Feralpi Group. After that, we will show you the mapping and data processing workflows in order to give you an idea on how HERON can simplify your work. Of course, I won't lose the chance to tell you how to buy or sell HERON. That I think it's another big interesting topic, I guess. Then we will leave time for the Q&A session, and my colleague too will support us providing technical details at your earliest convenience. As you see, we have a very full program, so let's get started. Let me say that stockpile surveys are a usual challenge for many surveyors, with regular surveys required from an accounting standpoint. Depending on the material surveyed, how accurate the survey needs to be, and how the stockpile has been constructed, the survey can be quite laborious and time-consuming. Moreover, if the site is active and operative with moving machinery and plant, as you know, it happens in most cases, the survey can pose certain health and safety risk to the surveyors who has to negotiate climbing over and around the stockpile, whilst also avoid collision with any moving machinery. In this scenario, traditional topographic or manual approaches can be very time-consuming and dangerous. So Instead, HERON 3D portable mobile mapping technology provides the surveyor with a fast and accurate survey along with simple data processing. But what is HERON? JAXL HERON is a portable mobile mapping system composed of 1 or 2 laser scanners, depending on the model, and an RGB digital camera, featuring a unique patent algorithm that creates an accurate and stable trajectory on which the global quality of the final 3D model depends. Of course, the way of scanning and computing stockpile volumes benefit of it as well. HERON collects between 300,000 and 600,000 points per second, depending on the model. It has a 100 meters range with up to 2 centimeter accuracy, all surveyed in real time whilst on the move. The system relies on SLAM technology, which is simultaneous localization and mapping, whose computational problem is exactly constructing or updating a map of an unknown environment while simultaneously keeping a track of an agent location within it. Adaptable to different environments, outdoor and indoor, HERON can measure safely and efficiently. The surveyor can move around freely and easily, achieving centimeters accuracy. Both control points and scans are supported for geolocalization. As you see, no need to hire a big survey team or to do multiple surveys. A single survey carried on by a single operator will produce a complete and very accurate 3D model. Thanks to its versatility, HERON can be used by walking, driving, or mounted on vehicles, dramatically cutting down the on-site activity times, always viewing in real time what you are scanning. And what about the HERON's remote control car? Well, that's not for me at all, because I am not a good remote pilot. HERON can be also used tilt, as well as used upside down, as well as mounted on crane, for example, inside the warehouse, in order to automatize and speed up all the scanning process. Furthermore, HERON can be mount of an extensive pole so that you can bring your HERON up to 8 meters. Light, handy, and smart, it can travel with you without spending money and time in the shipment procedures. And you guys know better than me what it means having an instrument that can be easily managed and moved together with you. Each HERON purchase comes with a complete software suite composed of HERON Desktop to optimize your 3D data and Reconstructor to quickly and easily extract valuable deliverables. The user can take advantages of some optional tools, of course, like the Costrain add-on that enable to use control points and georeference scan to optimize HERON's point cloud and improve its accuracy. Moreover, several vertical software can be integrated to manage specific tasks. So HERON is built for flexibility, and you can take, in this way, your point cloud to different third-party software, such as some leading mining software for further geologic analysis, or exporting directly to Recap, entering then inside the Autodesk World, or sharing your project via different cloud-based platform. Moreover, Reconstructor, the JAXL well-known and smart software provided together with HERON, enables to quickly get a different type of deliverables, not only volumes, but also profiles, contour lines, areas, cross-section, texturized models, plan view, computation reports, and the multi-sensory integration is supported as well. Its efficiency speed up all the management activities saving revenues, of course, HERON in fact can be applied to multiple and wide company needs. Steelworks too can leverage HERON capabilities for multiple purposes beside the stockpile volume computation, improving the plant safety, for example, plan future activities, get updated views of plants, move into digital twin application, for example, and many others. So let's leave now the floor to our guest, Cosmo Di Cecca from Feralpi Group, one of the major and, let me add, most innovative steel manufacturers in Europe. So, hi Cosmo, thanks for joining.
Hi,
okay.
Thank you.
Big pleasure. And can you please introduce the Feralpi Group?
Yes, for sure. So also good morning to our participants. Feralpi is one of the most important producer of steel in Europe. This is for us the most important achievement that we are most proud of. We have a very strong drive to innovation. We take care not only of production, but also of all our partners, stakeholders, to the now, to the new technology and research and development. We are producing more than 2.5 million of tons of steel, with more than 93% of recycled material. Feralpi Group have more than 1,500 employees in our companies that are spread in Italy, Europe, Germany, France, and North Africa. Our factories in total are spread in 6 states, and now we are developing 13 different projects aimed to the innovation of processes and products. Feralpi Group is divided into 2 big divisions. One is devoted to the production of steel for building and construction, and one is for specialties. The division for steel in construction has 2 big steel shops, one in Italy, here in Lonato, and one in Germany, in Riesa, in Saxony. And in Calvisano, we have one big steel shop for the production of quality steel and rebar production, so steel for construction. Our company is at the service for civil, residential, and industrial need, in particular with the biggest major works that are made not only in Italy or in Europe, but in all over the world. We are serving all kind of companies, starting from our rebar or to our wire rod, to the shaping company, to the people that are working our steel, not only with the hot processes, but also with the cold processes. We are connecting our company to an international networks of different traders and people that are working and operating in creating large contracts from half a century. We have an integrated and multi-plank structure because our company offers both hot and cold rolled log products, and also pre-shaped and pre-assembly services. For the quality steel, we are serving industrial supply chain, both for machinery and mechanics, up to automotive sector. So we need a high quality and high flexibility in all of our productions. And this flexibility is guiding also our investment. We are investing in the production of wire rod with high quality steel, and in all our companies, we are guaranteeing the customer of our high standards in product, processes, service, and the assistance.
Okay, that's a great introduction in order to understand a little bit about the Feralpi reality. And when did Feralpi start using HERON technology?
We decided to start HERON technology from 2019.
Okay, so we can say that it's a quite recent experience. And I think that our guests like to know, why did Feralpi decide to start using HERON technology, and which has been the main goal?
Feralpi has decided to adopt HERON technology for improving our ability to manage our scrap yard and byproducts. We have several yards inside our plant, so we need to manage the stock of these two important materials for our process inside the plant. This is because analyzing in detail the availability of our scrap allows us an improvement in all process performances. Our process, our production, must be characterized by a big control and a very important standardization of scrap charges. This is because the scrap is our raw material, and for us it's very important to manage all the raw materials inside our furnaces that are the machine devoted for melting the scrap. But these furnaces is melting the scrap, but inside the furnace we are creating a byproduct, and with the scrap and byproduct we are interconnected to all other companies, and for this reason the connection between process and byproduct is fundamental to manage all the materials inside the yard, and the management of these stocks in dedicated yards helps us for a timely distribution of scrap to our furnace as a raw material, and to byproducts to the companies that are adopting this important material.
Okay, okay, and how did you work before HERON? How did you work?
Before the HERON technology, before the HERON system, we are adopting the standard technology. So we are making an evaluation of our yards through standard metric evaluation or through theodolite system, and we take into account the measure made it manually or with a similar system.
Okay, so how is HERON helping to optimize your production process?
As anticipated before, in our production processes, the ferrous scrap is the fundamental raw material. Our process is based on charging ferrous scrap inside an electric arc furnace, and this is made by basket. This basket is prepared with a recipe because the scrap is melted with electrical and chemical energy by the furnace. But we do it in a very efficient way, not only for cost optimizing, but also because we want to optimize also our processes not only from economic but also from environmental point of view. And in order to reach this goal, we have to respect in a very strict way this recycle. And this recycle is prepared starting from the charging of the scrap inside the basket. But the packaging of this basket take place with this layer of scrap, and we have to check in a very fast and reliable way the availability of raw material that we have inside our plant, and because we need to assure that this material is available in a continuity way, and we have to optimize the charge also according to our availability. The scrap, for the people that is not working directly in steelworks, is also a different dimension, because there are a different kind of scrap. So for this reason, we need to evaluate the volume computation of this scrap. For us, having this technology allows us to analyze in a very accurate way the availability of scrap, and with this method we can achieve a standardization of condition and optimization of melting condition in order to have all the improvements and the optimization of our processes.
Okay, so we can say that HERON is giving its contribute to improve the quality of your job, especially if we consider how fast is achieving the desired result. So let's move now to the most operative procedures, describing how is the typical surveying routine.
The survey is running every first of the month after all the material has been settled in the stock areas inside our plant. The speed is for sure one of the main prerogatives, in particular with all the on-site operation. The on-site operation are carried out early in the morning, according also to our internal management of raw material, and this permits also to deliver the final result generally within the day.
Thank you very much, Cosmo, for this. The brief description of how is the typical survey routine. And let me underline, I think, one important aspect. Eventual moving objects like trucks or person are not an issue at all, because HERON has a smart post-processing tool to remove moving object from the survey. So we can really organize the on-site activities at your convenience. And guys, that's very important, because HERON does not interfere with the daily plan activities. So Cosmo, can you tell us how does HERON work on site?
First of all, the stockpiles are 7 here in Ferrari, both outdoor and indoor, for an overall global area of 13,800 square meters. A base survey of the stockpile area has been set at the beginning of the activity in order to have a reference zero level. Then all the monthly computation have been referred to this reference. Of course, the volume comparison can be run also between intermediate monthly comparison.
Okay, so we can say that operatively speaking, after the HERON setup, which takes minutes, the operator is ready to work. a quick warming up of seconds, and here we go. And in your case, the mapping is carry on by walking around the stockpile. But let me quickly remember you guys that HERON versatility dramatically speed up the job in the field. For example, in very large outdoor areas, HERON can be mounted on vehicles, as we have seen. For indoor warehouse, we can dock it on crane, as we have seen, and automate the entire on-site acquisition process. And moreover, for the really high stockpiles, we can use it with extensive pole reaching up to 8 meters height. But how is the data processing?
During the 3D modeling step, the stockpiles are isolated and are isolated from all the structural elements of our plant to define their volume. And in a very few hours, we get a technical report with all the measurements of the overall volumes.
Thank you very much, Cosmo, for this presentation, because HERON, I think that from your description, our attendees really have understood how HERON is a really complete solution, and that the provided software are able to cover all the data processing workflow needed for these purposes. And I think that this is one of the unmatching qualities of HERON. After transferring data to the computer, HERON patent algorithm optimize and prepare point clouds for the output extraction. And a very smart, clever, and fully controlled data post-processing enables to optimize the survey done. So let's move now to the software. The post-processing is composed of a few steps and can be run automatically or by what we call advanced mode. And guys, this is really what I like most because we can always check what is going on into the software by selecting, changing, and modifying the multiple parameters that you can see on my right side of the screen. And all these parameters is available in the software. The post-processing is composed of few steps. So starting from the trajectory recomputation that we are looking right now, where we can easily solve possible issues occurred while scanning. The software suggests some preset defined depending on the environment, like, for example, if I am working in indoor or outdoor, etc. But we can always set up the parameters at our convenience. We can also check the quality of the trajectory, because if green, it is of course great. If red, or if you see the trajectory sliding, hey guy, it means something is going wrong and I have to act. So let's see, for example, let me jump to an interesting point. I think you want to see how to fix the problem instead of looking at the green trajectory. If you look at the trajectory behavior right now, you will see that the trajectory is going on, then back, ahead again. I mean, it is sliding, and this behavior is expected if you look at the scanned area. On the left, if you see, we have some geometries, the stockpile, even not so much. On the right, we have almost nothing, and we have a large ground area. So we expect some kind of behavior, and how do we, what we have to do to work it out? Going back on site, definitely not. But we can change some parameters. So, for example, here I have changed the minimum distance in order to recompute the trajectory, and HERON can, or better, the software can solve the issue. So it means that during the post-processing, and especially during the trajectory recomputation, you can always stop, change parameters, and then go back and go on. So you can really interact with the software in order to find out the best, we can say, parameters in order to optimize your process. So let me jump to the end of the process, because I think that I do not want to waste your time. When the process is end, and so when you have all your green trajectory, we can move up to the second step. So you can accept the result if you like. If you don't like, you can run again the process, changing parameters, as we have seen. And we can now move to the second step. The second step is what we call 3D local maps creation. The local map patent algorithm allows to subdivide our acquisition into areas without drift. So in a certain way, in maps without drift. Each local map is defined by a different color, as you see here. And for the trajectory recomputation, we can interact with the software by setting and change the different parameters that you can always find on the right side of your screen. Let me jump again here, because when the algorithm has finished to create the local map, we can run what we call the global optimization. And at first, we will see that all the local maps are connected sequentially. So the first with the second with the third, and so on. In order to optimize their connection, I can add manually some connection. So, for example, in this case, you see that the scans are not pretty well registered, so I can optimize them and then update all my matches. Or I can run this process also automatically. So I can run the automatic selection, and in which process you see, starting far from the screen, that the software is creating connections. So is connecting the different local map each other in order to create a sort of how to say stable network of connection. This process can take a while. It depends, of course, of the object, on how big is the survey, on how many connections you want to run, the parameters that you have checked, and everything. And let me see, when the process is end, you can, of course, save your process. You can delete some bad connection. And for example, you can check the result. In this case, for example, you can run the final optimization, okay? And then you can do your final check of the result. Let me see. Okay, for example, if you look at the error, you can, for example, delete the biggest error, or in order to optimize better your cluster. And of course, if you run a sort of modification in one connection, automatically all the other will be connected. And you can, of course, also check in 3D by uploading, by showing some scans, how they are matching in 3D. So you have the fully control of what is going on, and always checking the result of this process. Okay, so we have seen that moving data from on-site to the office is just a matter of minutes. And once we got our point cloud, we can move to Reconstructor for the deliverables extraction. So we can run point cloud classification, volume computation respect a plane, 2D profiles extraction, mesh creation, or we can as well navigate inside the 3D project, both in the point cloud and in the panorama images. We can compute cut and fill volume, We can edit the point cloud. We can add also some layer information in order to visualize better the point cloud, and we can also share our project through the web. So let's have a quick look now at a sample of deliverables. Let me open a sample. Okay, so for clearly confidential reasons, the volume values here are not reported in the tables, but this report resume what Cosmo has described in terms of volume computation and volume comparison. For each stockpile, the volume is reported along with its own plan view identification. This is the plan of the site with the stockpile identification, some different pictures, and of course for each stockpile is also available the corresponding 3D mesh. As we can see here, this is the global plan view of the site, in which you see also machinery, plant, and everything, and the localization of each stockpile with the corresponding mesh that are, in this case, colored by altitude. And these are the mesh that have been used to calculate the volume and to run the comparison. So, what to say about the benefit? Italians are good in many things, but I think that we are definitely famous for our food, a supreme art, let me say. And I think that why I am talking about this, I guess that many of you are asking, because just like bread that match with everything, HERON is a versatile system in terms of fields of application. We can use it everywhere. System support, we have seen that we can use it by walking, on car, crane, bike, motorbike, telescopic pole, on boat as well. And also it matches with everything for the typology of result. So we can get volumes, cross-section, plans, elevation, and moreover, HERON, let me add, is smart and user-friendly like bread and jam, because we don't need to be an expert surveyors to use HERON. We can visualize the data while mapping and check what has been scanned. A smart on-site review function permits us to directly check the data just scan. In my opinion, this is a very, very appreciated feature that totally avoid discovering errors or missing part only once back to the office. We save time for sure, and we do not interfere with on-site plans activity. And nevertheless, also simplicity needs advanced skills. In my opinion, mainly simple things need advanced skill. So behind its conf interface, HERON has a very strong engine that is the core of all the system, definitely. In fact, HERON data processing is performing simple and quick. So we can get accurate and three-dimensional model of the scan area in minutes. So the point cloud is turned into actionable 3D information for prompt decision making. We can benefit of automatic or advanced settings if we are expert users. As we have seen, we have a lot of parameters with whom we can play. All the included software run locally on the user PC, so you don't have to upload your data for post-processing somewhere. We can cover all the processing workflow from trajectory creation up to 3D mesh and up to delivery. So volumes, cross-section, 2D plans, elevation, movie, report. And the integration with the third-party vertical software is fully supported. we mentioned before Recap Pro to enter inside Autodesk environment, Micromine, Vulkan, Scene, and different kind of cloud-based platforms and more. So after this culinary and technical resuming, we are ready to learn how to take part in this changement. And if you like, there are two ways of acting. Who is interested in the purchasing has two possibilities. Contact Jexcel directly, writing at sales@jexcel.it, or contact one of the Jexcel local dealers. If you want to know if there is a dealer in your region, I kindly suggest you to visit the Jexcel website at www.jexcel.it. And at the distributors page, you can find several details. But what can I do if there is no dealer in my region? For example, you discover that there's no one. Do not worry, Guy. Just contact us directly. And what can I do if you would like to resell HERON in this region? Contact us and we will evaluate together its feasibility. Our dealers networks is spreading so fast, so check with us the chance to be part of the family. And before opening the Q&A session, I'd like to thank you pretty much, Cosmo, for having brought us into the Feralpi world. Let me add that the first time I visited your company, I was really astonished because it's like to be in a world, in a totally independent world. So really, thank you very much for sharing your experience. And I am sure that our attendees enjoyed and like this interesting real case pretty much. So guys, stay tuned and follow us by subscribing to our newsletter and joining our web channels to not miss our future events. And please really feel free to write to sales@jexcel.it for any questions or technical sales requests. So Cosmo, really thank you very much for staying with us today and describing this pretty interesting experience and working case.
Thank you also, Georgia, and to all Jexcel team for sharing with us this very interesting technology and this opportunity for working together.
That's our really big pleasure. So I think that we can start immediately with Q&A, and thanks to join us. Tu is our senior engineer, and he is the responsible of the technical support in the Asia Pacific. So let me see. Tu, I think that you can help me in this question. I heard, if I am right, that you can use control points to optimize HERON's trajectory. How does it work?
Yeah, you're right. Because I would say it is our unique and powerful function that can help. I mean, the system, in the post-processing software here on desktop, it is a function that user can add external point acquired by the traditional system like total stations, GPS or GNSS. So those points will be added into post-processing process, and by combining with the reference point acquired by the HERON systems, the external point will constrain and optimize the global accuracy of the global point cloud. So I would say that now we can be confident that the final point cloud with the point constraint can achieve kind of 2 to 3 centimeters of global accuracy of the final point cloud.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, guys, if you would like to know more, then just write to us and we can go deeper in the technical explanation. Another question is, which are the delivery time of HERON? Okay, delivery time is guaranteed 4 weeks. It does not matter on the HERON configuration, so 4 weeks. We have another question. I think that this is for you. How does it work, the color acquisition? Do I have to do some post-processing job?
Actually, no post-processing job required. So as you saw before in the presentation of Georgia, after all the post-processing data step by step, the color will be automatically integrated with the 3D point cloud acquired by the systems.
Okay. Another question is how to georeference the data. How it's possible to georeference the data?
Do you mean it should be how to georeference the HERON data, right?
Yeah, let me see. Yes.
Yeah.
How to georeference HERON data, yeah.
So with the combination of the software included with the systems reconstructor and HERON desktop, so the HERON data can be georeferenced by different ways. The first way is that external georeference point cloud, which can be any kind of point cloud, can be integrated with the HERON raw data in post-processing step. So after the post-processing step, by integrating with the external georeference point cloud, then when we export the HERON data into reconstructor, the HERON data will be automatically georeferenced due to the spatial information of the external data. And as I mentioned before, with the previous question, with external point with global coordinates, we integrate with the HERON acquisition in post-processing step. And then at the end, we will also have the HERON data inside the global coordinate. And there is another traditional way that we can use 3 control point with 3 external point. So we combine and georeference in a reconstructor, then the HERON data will be in the global coordinate.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me see. Okay, I think that that is clear. I think that for today's session, it's all. Of course, there are other, for other question, doubt, or everything, do not hesitate to write to us. We will be more than pleased to support you, of course. Please, if you want, do not forget to follow us via our channels, so you could be always updated about event, activities, news. And of course, if you are interested to know more about Reconstructor or other Jaxel product, we are more than pleased to organize other webinar. Just specify this in the note that you can find in the opinion survey. So I'd like really, again, to thanks a lot Cosmo for joining us and describing this pretty interesting case. I'd like also to thanks our technical manager too for replying to your technical details. Really thanks a lot. Thanks also a lot to you guys for being together with us today. We hope that this success case has been interesting. So, Cosmo, do you want to add something? If you want also to say hello to our attendees.
So I want to say thank you to our attendees. And so again, thank you also to you, Georgia, to and to all guys of Jaxel and HERON Technology.
Thank you very much. So let's keep in touch soon and enjoy your morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.